definitely find out something that you are going to qualify for. That's really important, right? Because not everybody qualifies for everything. We also want to find something that fits your budget. Now, I wouldn't be very good at this if I took food off your table, and I'm not going to do that today, okay?
Yeah, we definitely.
Perfect. And most kitchen tables that I sit at, guys, that's their number one concern. Okay, so I'm gonna be super sensitive to that today, okay? And then also, we wanna make sure that we find a benefit that you understand. So many people today have benefits that they have no idea what they have. And my goal today is gonna be to make sure that you guys have a benefit that you understand. So when I walk out the door, you understand how that's gonna benefit each other when you are no longer here, okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense? Perfect. Okay, so to go ahead and do that, guys, I'm gonna ask some questions. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna spend about 5 or so minutes going over your financial situation. It's important for us to know what happens when one of you doesn't walk in the door. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect. And then we're gonna spend 5 or so minutes going over your health. At the end of the day, your health is really what buys your insurance, not your bank account. Okay, so I'm gonna ask some questions about that, and then we'll move forward. Now, if anything makes sense, we'll go ahead and send up a request for benefits to that carrier. Now, one thing I need you guys to understand is I don't work for an insurance company. I get the opportunity due to my license to work for you, okay? So what I'm gonna do, a lot of times people will tell me that they wanna shop and look for things like that. The great thing is that's what I'm gonna do for you guys today, okay? All right, Ken, you're a little uptight there. Are you all right?
Yeah, I don't even know why she made me do this. I had our attack 3 years ago, and I don't even think this is
Right,
totally. I'll hear what you have to say, but I'm not doing anything.
No problem, no problem. I hear that all the time, and typically it is from my male clients, but that's okay. What we're gonna go ahead and do is just go through things to make you comfortable, okay? It's important to know what's out there for you. That's right. All right, Jess says we're just gonna listen. All right, you sound like my husband, right? No decision making on day one. That's all right. All right, so like I said, we're gonna go over finances, talk about your health, and then we're gonna talk about what options you have, okay? So can I have you here as 71, is that right?
Yes.
All right, perfect. What month's your birthday?
September.
All right, September, perfect. And Jessica, I have you at 68,
Yes.
is that correct?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, and now I have, Ken, you are a non-smoker, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, I don't touch this stuff.
Okay, good for you. It helps your insurance premiums, I promise. Hey Jess, how about you? Are you a smoker?
I am.
You are, all right. Well, hopefully we can help you quit that habit at some point, but at 68, we're pretty set, so. Anyway, all right guys. So now are you both complaining, or are you both receiving Social Security benefits now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're both retired, all right. And Ken, just ballpark, what's your Social Security income per month?
About 1,600.
1,600, perfect. All right, and then any pensions or anything like that for you?
Yeah, I have a $400 pension.
Okay, perfect. Now on that pension, do you have any survivor benefits? Will that continue if something happens to you for Jessica?
No, I don't have any survivorship.
Okay, so
Are you
no.
sure? Are you sure?
Yeah, no, we don't have survivorship.
Okay. When if he says no right away, it's typically no's, right? All right. So
So
no
it's gonna be like a
survivor.
$200 deficit a month, so we didn't do survivorship.
Right, right, and that's pretty common, we see that a lot when it comes to pensions, so the good news is we should be able to help around that, okay? Anything else, Ken, that brings an income on your side?
No,
No? Okay,
no, just a pension, Social Security, pretty fixed budget.
okay, perfect, and that's what I special in is fixed budgets, okay? So we'll be super sensitive to that. Now Jess, how about you? Ballpark, what's your monthly income?
I get my Social Security, I think it's about $950.
$950? Okay, perfect. Anything else that brings an income for you?
No.
Okay.
After I had my breast cancer, everything was pretty wiped out.
Okay, okay, excellent. All right, so let's say, well, the good news is for you guys are actually doing really well, okay? I typically sit at a lot of kitchen tables where income is quite a bit lower, so you guys should feel really good about where you're at. That's fantastic, okay? So together, we are at 15, 16. All right, so you're at about 2,600, right? Probably about $3,000, okay? So together, that's a fantastic income. Now let's talk about how Social Security works when one of you passes away, because that's really important for us to look at when we're looking at final expense benefits. So at the end of the day, you get to keep the higher of the two social securities and you lose the lower of the two. Okay, does that make sense?
So mine would go away.
Yes, exactly. So your $950 a month payment from Social Security will now only be $1,600. And then we know, because Ken shared with us, that that $400 pension is gonna go away. So that brings you down, just for you, that takes you down to an even $1,600 total in income. And Ken, that would take you just to an even $2,000, okay? Does that make sense, guys, how your income is going to be impacted when it's, okay, perfect, all right. Now,
You better stay around for a long time.
that's right, we want Ken to stay around, right? Exactly. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about anything else that you, any rental properties or anything like that you guys have?
No?
No, okay. And do you rent here?
Yeah. it's
Okay.
1,000 a month.
1,000 a month? Okay, good, perfect. Now, how about any other large payments? Are we making car payments? Are we doing anything like that?
Our, utilities, probably about 400 a month, I'd say.
Okay.
All of our utilities.
Okay, perfect. So about,
Amazon.
right, Amazon, just as a shopper, right? All right. So 400 in utilities, okay. And that's pretty much it, right? So would you say you're able to save per month, or is pretty much what comes in goes out?
Pretty much, we're at the end of the month, on
Yeah.
paper, it looks like we are doing pretty well, like you said, but, at the end of the month, there's.
Right, not a lot still sitting there, right? And that's really common, guys. So you guys are, like I said, your income's great, you're doing really well, okay? So don't beat yourself up about that. That happens to a lot of people, okay? So now it looks like, now, do you watch your grandchildren or anything? Or, because it looks like it's not just the two of you that are living at home. Is there anyone else that lives here with you?
Yeah, my daughter and my grandson.
Okay, so your daughter and your grandson, are they
Yeah.
here?
No, they're not here. My daughter is gone, grandson.
Okay. And does she work?
She does not.
She does not, okay, so maybe receiving some disability. Does she help with any of the monthly billings or anything like that?
No.
No, okay. That's okay, I've got 3 daughters of my own,
Yeah.
so it takes a big heart from grandparents to go ahead and step in and help out. So that I really commend you guys for that, that's
My
fantastic.
grandson's 12 and he's just gone into middle school,
Right, I do, I have twin 14-year-olds, so we definitely know how that works. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about, do you have anything currently in place that acts like life insurance? Any traditional life insurance coverages, anything that's beneficiary designated, anything like that?
No, I had my employment, I had some coverage, but it's gone now since I'm retired.
Okay, so you lost it when you retired, also super common, absolutely. How about you, Jessica? Nothing at all? Okay, all right, perfect. So no traditional coverage. How about anything that is beneficiary designated, like an old 401k, an IRA, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, anything like that?
I have an old 401k.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
401k.
I lost all my money in 2001, 2008.
Oh, yeah, that's another common theme at kitchen tables. I'm sorry about that. That's tough. Jessica, how about you? So that 401k IRA that you have, ballpark, do you know what's in there?
I definitely have lost some money on it, but I think about 50,000.
About 50? Okay, perfect.
But this day and age, 50,000 doesn't really.
Doesn't go too far, exactly. All right. And what do you guys have in the equity index market? Have you guys heard of that benefit? No, okay. We can come back to it. It's just a way to protect your money in case anything, when the market goes down, your funds stay the same. When the market goes up, your funds go up, right? So we'll come back to that. All right, and, okay, so no traditional coverages in place currently, okay. I'm just jotting things down, guys. That helps me to keep my brain moving forward, right? I see a lot of people, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's talk about your health a little bit. How's your health been in the last few years?
I had a heart attack 3 years ago.
Okay,
I got high blood pressure.
okay.
taking
And
lisinopril.
lisinopril, great. Any more medications or just the lisinopril?
What's that? Starts with an A.
Atenolol?
Yeah, I have gout as well.
Oh, okay, so gout, all right, all right. Anything else, any hospitalizations in the last 12 months? No, good, any surgeries or anything like that in the last year?
Like I said, just a heart attack.
Just a heart attack, perfect.
Okay, since.
Okay, well, that's good, that's a blessing, right? So heart attack 3 years ago. All right, and then just how about for you, dear? How are things going with your health?
I'm doing pretty good. I had breast cancer about 8 years ago.
Okay,
Nothing ever, no cancer since then.
okay, good. How about daily medications?
Yeah, I'm on, they say I'm diabetic, so I'm on metformin,
Okay.
and, oh, the name,
Glipizide?
yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Glipizide, yeah.
I'm basically a doctor now, guys. I've been doing this long enough.
All those
I'll help you out.
All those fancy names for all the medicines, I can't keep track, they just try to prescribe me all this
That's
stuff.
right. And when they first diagnosed you with diabetes, were you before the age of 50 or after?
After.
After 50? Okay. Good, good. All right.
Um,
And then anything else going on?
Well, I do have some high blood pressure, cholesterol. I do have asthma.
Okay. And with the asthma, has it always been asthma? Have they said you have COPD or anything like that?
No, just the asthma. I just use, the inhaler.
Okay, good. And is that a rescue inhaler? Do you use it every day?
Rescue.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So you guys are doing really well. Like normally there's a bucket. Somebody brings me out a bucket with all of their prescriptions in it, and you guys have done really good. So we like that you have a really good income and that you guys are, overall very healthy. So that's going to help us a lot. Now, Ken, if something were to happen to Jessica, would it be you that kind of had to pick up all the pieces around here, or would that be your daughter that stepped in? Who
No,
would
it would-
take care? It would be you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, it would be you. And then, would you plan to stay in the home that you're in currently?
Yeah.
You would.
I've lived here 35 years.
Okay, so you'd stay, okay.
Yeah.
All right, and just the same questions, hon. If something were to happen to Ken, he didn't come home, would you be the one to pick up those pieces?
I would have to. My daughter, she doesn't work right now. But I'd want to try to stay here. But I don't know if honestly, now that we're sitting down, I don't know if I could.
Right, right.
I probably
And that's,
have to go back to work.
yeah, and that's something that we really want to talk about. When we talk about, burial plans and things like that, it's not just about making sure that you don't burden your family with the cost of a cremation or something like that. What we want to do is just really make sure that all of your final expenses are taken care of. And, Ken, you mentioned you're not sure why you're here. Does it make more sense now that we're losing a massive amount of income for Jessica if something
Yeah, I
happened?
didn't really see it like that. Kind of just had a heart attack. My health is, it's not very good.
Right,
I
right.
guess in the big scheme of things it is, but I wasn't thinking ahead. I just want to make sure that, what do I really care? The things that I was thinking about beforehand was if I'm going to die anyway, it doesn't matter.
Right, right. Well, there's two things I can guarantee you, death and taxes, right? We all leave at some time. There's no expiration date stamped on our foreheads or my job would be so much easier. So what we do is just make that process a little bit more simple, okay? And I definitely get it. I hear that all the time, what do I care? I'm gonna be dead, right? I hear that a lot at kitchen tables. But the reality is, if you didn't care, you wouldn't have worked your whole life to make sure that there was something left for your family, right?
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Excellent, okay. All right, perfect. So now what I'm gonna do, guys, is we've gone through everything that I need to know. Now again, then, knowing that we are going to protect your budget, because that's super important, right?
Absolutely.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna put your information into my little computer here. It's gonna start spitting out offers for you, okay? Now, I'm only gonna show you the best rates because I don't want you to pay more for the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a huge thing for us.
Excellent. All right. So now typically, we recommend that you start at a benefit to take care of final expenses at around $10,000. Okay? Now what my job is today is to show you what you qualify for. Okay? Now that may be $10,000, that may be $30,000, that may be $40,000. What we're gonna do is look and see who's gonna give you the best rate, because it doesn't matter who the carrier is as long as they make that payment in 7 to 10 business days when either one of you don't make it home. Does that make sense?
Okay, so it's
Yes, absolutely. And the great thing about a lot of the carriers that we work with is that it's non-medical. That's why I'm licensed, that's why I come and see you, that's why I ask you the health questions, okay? So what we're gonna do today is hopefully we'll be able to use a carrier that's gonna give us a yes or a no today. Now, I know we talked about not wanting to make any decisions.
I don't want to.
Excellent, and I totally understand, I totally understand. I'm that same way too. Can I ask you guys a quick question? What kind of milk do you buy?
2%.
2%? Perfect, so you made that decision that day, right?
No.
Yeah, okay, easy, don't panic. I'm just letting you know that a lot of this stuff is something that we want to think about, but we've been thinking about it for 68, 71 years. So today, we're gonna stop thinking about it, we're gonna move forward, and we're gonna take care of each other today. Does that make sense, guys? All right. So, again, I'm gonna put your information in here, and we'll get some numbers back. Now, again, I'm gonna show you what you qualify for, because that's my job, okay? Now, if you're uncomfortable with those premiums, by the way, I'll know, I've been doing this long enough to know one of you's gonna lean away from me or blink real hard or something. Don't panic, we'll fix it, all right? So at the end of the day, I need to make sure I find something that fits your budget today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your lives. Okay? So that's what we're gonna do today. All right, so Kim, we're gonna start with you. And it looks like the great news is a lot of times with heart attacks, that makes it a little bit harder for us to find carriers. The great news for you is that we do have an amazing carrier. Their company, their name is Americo. Again, we shopped around. It looks like Americo is going to come back with that best rate for you. And again, they don't look at your heart attack as being something that's going to raise your premiums. So we really like that. Have you guys looked before and had that be a kind of a stumbling block for you?
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't been able to get coverage because of my heart attack.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can't change that today. Okay? All right. Well, and the great news is, guys, it looks like they are willing to offer you benefits up to $30,000. Now, $30,000 is a lot, and I'll tell you the truth. If you were my mom and dad, it looks like based on your budget, this might hurt a little bit. Okay. So let's talk about how to make that more comfortable. It looks like at $30,000, the cost for that monthly would be $257.56. Yeah, that looks like a lot to me too, guys. So let's do this. Knowing that we're gonna lose some income, knowing that we wanna be cremated, which is typically pretty cost effective, and we don't want a huge impact on our life financially, let's look at 50% of that at $15,000, okay? All right, so at $15,000, all right, looks like we are going to have, oh, and the great thing, guys, I didn't even explain this to you before. Two of the great things. One, just even though you are a smoker, with the company that we're looking at, Americo, they're actually going to allow you the opportunity to have non-smokers rates.
Okay.
Now, if you quit, okay, which I know we all want, Ken, let's work on it together, right? Yeah, absolutely. So what'll happen is they're going to send you a swab kit in the next 3 years. 3 years, right? In the next 3 years, and they'll go ahead and test you. Now, what will happen is your premium won't change. Your death benefit will adjust if you haven't had a chance to quit smoking between now and then. But the great news is, instead of doubling your premium as a smoker, we're still going to be able to get you non-smoker rates. Okay?
I guess I better really start quitting smoking.
That's right. That's right. It's just not good for you anyway, Jess. Right? All right, guys. So, all right. And so it looks like, well, now I'm just pushing buttons that don't make any sense. All right. So it looks like $15,000, Kent, is going to put you in a position of premium at about $125.16 per month. Okay? And then Jessica, here's a couple of things that we want to look at. Now, the income impact is still really great if something happens to you. Again, both of us wanting cremation. I'm a fan of mirroring coverage to make sure that husband and wives have the same carrier if possible, as well as the same amount of benefits. Now, if it was one-sided and there was a massive amount of income on one side, then we would look at things differently. But I do believe, especially since, now if both of you are gone, who would you like these benefits to go to?
Our daughter.
Your daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we were able to provide, $15,000 to your daughter and put that in her bank account right now, would that help her and your grandson quite a bit?
Oh, absolutely.
And have you guys had any experience recently with anyone who has passed away?
My brother.
Your brother did, okay. Can you tell me about that experience? Were you very involved in that?
I've got a couple siblings, so this is why I had filled it out, because we all kind of divvied up and had to pay some money. This is why I really wanted it.
Why you went online and found me and I came out and I'm gonna help you, right?
Right.
Exactly, okay. All right, and Jessica, your premium's 81 and 76 cents per
These are
month.
so much cheaper than mine.
Well, it's not her fault, but this is the only time in life, Ken, that your wife will be less expensive than you. And I don't make those rules, see? Look how happy she is about it, right? Now she's going back on Amazon, right?
Let's not do that.
Exactly. All right, guys. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to provide a benefit for $15,000 for each of you. And again, we want to make sure that these are benefits that will always be there. So these are not going to go away. You're not going to, if you were to get sick again, just with cancer, right? Because a lot of times that kind of stuff comes back, We're knocking on wood and praying for you. However, sometimes that happens. At the end of the day, these are going to be benefits. They're yours. You own them. You can guarantee that your family is going to receive that $15,000 no matter what happens to you. You don't have to die in an accident on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. These are real insurance benefits, okay? So what I need you guys to do right now is go ahead and go grab your driver's license and the checkbook you want these to come out of. We're going to go ahead and see if you can get qualified today. All right? There you have it.